Hi, and welcome back to our coverage from AWS reInvent 2018. I am Ian Massingham from the AWS Developer Evangelism team, and I'm joined at the far end of this podium by Abby Fuller, Senior Developer Advocate in Containers and Linux here at Amazon Web Services. And we have two special guests with us. In this segment, we're going to be talking about a couple of networking services that were announced in a keynote last night here at AWS reInvent. What was it that was announced from your team, Divya, and can you tell us a little bit more about the service?
Sure. So last night we announced AWS Global Accelerator. It's a new networking service which you can use to improve performance and availability of your applications, especially those that's intended for a global audience. As a part of the Global Accelerator settings, you will receive static Anycast IP addresses, and these are going to be announced from all of our edge locations around the world. And Global Accelerator takes your traffic and intelligently routes it to the closest healthy application. So we look at geo-proximity, the health of your applications, and also you can define some sort of weights, and we'll honor them while making the routing decisions. And this is a purely network layer service, so we support TCP as well as UDP protocols.
So I guess we're solving a problem there for customers around ensuring good performance for applications globally, and also does this address disaster recovery use cases? If I have multiple regions that are serving my app and one of those regions fails or gets degraded, do you automatically mark that as unhealthy and then divert traffic away? Is that how it works?
Yes, definitely. So we have continuous health checking, and if your application in one region fails, we detect that and automatically and instantly reroute traffic to your next available region. So you can use it for an active-passive disaster recovery sort of scenario, and also for an active case. So that's the availability portion of it. And apart from availability, like you mentioned, we also improve performance because the Global Accelerator leverages the AWS Global Network. So your traffic ingresses onto our network as close as possible to your users, and it traverses our congestion-free, high-performance, and Amazon-monitored global network. So that's for the performance aspect. Apart from that, there's one more key benefit, and that's ease of use. Because I mentioned we provide static IP addresses that front your applications all across the world. You do not have to manage multiple IP addresses, one per AZ. So it's very convenient for you as well.
What kind of customers do you see that want to enable applications for multi-region operations? Are there particular sectors or verticals or particular types of customer that are more predisposed towards using this kind of service? What sort of use cases do you envisage as being the earliest adopters?
Sure. So we have multiple use cases. So the first one are the customers who want really high availability, maximum uptime for their applications because it's highly critical and customer facing. So they do not want to rely on IP address caching by client devices. So if you have client devices or applications, these can cache your IP addresses for longer durations, and that can lead to unexpected downtimes. So customers who want to avoid that are a really good use case. The second set of customers are customers who want really high performance, so mobile apps, gaming, video streaming, all of that, and they want to leverage the AWS network. And that's the second type of customers. And we have the third type who want to whitelist a single set of IP addresses in security applications like firewalls or even your client applications. So that's the third set of customers that we have.
Understand.
Yeah.
I think you've got a demo here which shows a little bit as to how customers can get started with the service. So can you just talk us through that?
Yes.
Okay. Can we get the laptop up on the screen, please?
Yeah, you can start the laptop. All right. So if you can see, I've already created an accelerator over here, and one part of creating an accelerator is creating a listener, which is a port in a protocol that you listen to. And this listener is connected to two endpoint groups, one in each region, one in Virginia and one in EU Central 1, which is Frankfurt. And I have attached an elastic IP address in each of these regions. So there is an EIP hosting my website in Virginia and another one in Frankfurt. And as a part of the Global Accelerator, I get two IP addresses which are static. So now what I do is I go to Route 53. I have my DNS name, www.mytravelog.org, which you can see here. And I have tied my static IP addresses as A records to my DNS name. So you can see these IP addresses. These are my static IP addresses provided by my accelerator. So I have attached those, and now I SSH into my EC2 instance in Virginia and do a curl for mytravelot.org, and you will see my application hosted in Virginia that's coming up. Now I exit and I SSH into my instance in Frankfurt, and basically do the same thing. I do a curl, and you'll basically see that my application, which is hosted in EU Central 1, comes up. So you can see the intelligent routing which is being performed by the Global Accelerator. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate a failover. So I'm going to go to my EC2 instance in Virginia, and I'm going to quickly stop it just to see how my accelerator reacts. So I just stopped my instance in Virginia. And rather than doing a curl, I'll just open up the URL on my web page. So now I go to mytravelot.org. Remember, I am connecting from Seattle. However, my application is routed to EU Central 1, which is Frankfurt, because I have shut down my instance in Virginia. So you can see how Global Accelerator instantly reroutes traffic based on health, performance, and all of that.
Great. Does that service integrate with things like ALB or network load balancers? Can they be the endpoints in my regions?
Yeah, sure. So we support 3 endpoints as of now. So one is application load balancers, network load balancers, and also elastic IP addresses.
Okay, so I can have a load balance group in each one of my availability zones, or each one of my regions, or a set of containers in each one of my regions, and balance across those 2 groups globally.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
That's true.
Super. I think that's all we need on how customers get started. It looks super simple to me. Do you have any questions on Global Accelerator, Abby, from the stream?
We have one that I think Randall's going to take for us in chat, unless you'd like to, but it's to help with understanding an example of this usage for Global Accelerator. Is this similar to what's built into CloudFront, but you're exposing it to customers through a lower level usage? But I think that is a much broader question, so I think maybe someone's going to hang out and answer that for us.
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe actually someone already did.
Yeah.
So far, nothing on Global Accelerator.
Okay, great. So I think unless you've got anything else to add, we'll wrap this segment up here, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us on twitch.tv/AWS.